Let's begin with a tale about Robert Kiyosaki, a curious 9-year-old boy from the 1950s. Robert and his friend Mike harbored grand aspirations of wealth, but lacked a clear plan to achieve it. After a failed venture involving melted toothpaste tubes, they sought guidance from their fathers on how to become rich. Robert's poor dad, despite being well educated, offered the conventional advice of going to school, studying hard, and securing a good job. However, this advice, while common, is fundamentally flawed. It perpetuates a cycle where individuals spend their lives working tirelessly to increase their income, only to see most of their rewards siphoned away by external forces such as taxes, debt, and employment obligations. Essentially, Robert's poor dad inadvertently encouraged him to join the rat race, a never-ending cycle of working for others rather than oneself. Many people adhere to this advice out of fear, driven by societal expectations that equate a good job with financial success. However, while this approach may prevent poverty, it does little to foster wealth accumulation. In contrast, there are individuals like Mike's father, known as the rich dad, who understand the principles of wealth creation and maintenance. Instead of advocating the traditional path of working for money, rich people impart valuable financial wisdom to their children. Rich Dad's approach diverged from the norm. Rather than offering immediate financial lessons, he struck a deal with young Robert, agreeing to impart his knowledge in exchange for Robert's labor at a nominal rate of 10 cents an hour. Initially, Robert felt exploited and disillusioned, perceiving no tangible gain from his efforts. Immediate financial lessons, he struck a deal with young Robert, agreeing to impart his knowledge in exchange for Robert's labor at a nominal rate of 10 cents an hour. Initially, Robert felt exploited and disillusioned, perceiving no tangible gain from his efforts. However, this experience served as Robert's first lesson in the realities of life and wealth accumulation. He learned that life can be challenging and that working solely for money does not lead to riches. This pivotal lesson set the stage for a deeper understanding of wealth acquisition. So, if the wealthy don't work for money, how do they amass riches? Contrary to assumptions of theft or chance windfalls like winning the lottery, the wealthy employ alternative strategies rooted in financial literacy and investment. To answer the previous question, the wealthy become affluent not through theft or chance, but by leveraging their money effectively. Instead of squandering their income on unnecessary expenditures, they allocate a portion towards acquiring various assets. By allowing their assets to generate income passively, they shift from laboring for money to having money work for them. When we last encountered Robert, he was still a young boy, unfamiliar with the concept of assets. However, Mike's father, the rich dad, was about to change that. He enlightened the boys about the fundamental distinction between assets and liabilities, emphasizing that the wealthy prioritize assets while others mistakenly invest in liabilities. An asset, Rich Dad clarified, is anything that contributes to increasing your wealth by adding money to your pocket. Conversely, a liability detracts from your financial well-being by draining money from your resources. This distinction is crucial but often misunderstood. Contrary to popular belief, a house is not necessarily an asset. It can be one of the most significant liabilities. Purchasing a home often entails decades of mortgage payments and property taxes, resulting in a significant financial burden. Rich Dad illustrated this with a straightforward example. A mortgage obligates you to make monthly payments for many years, diverting funds that could have been invested more lucratively elsewhere. Consequently, instead of accumulating wealth, investing in a mortgage ties up resources in a liability. To become wealthy, Rich Dad imparted a simple yet profound lesson: prioritize identifying and acquiring genuine assets. Conversely, persistently investing in liabilities will hinder your path to financial success. He outlined the financial realities faced by individuals across different socioeconomic strata. While those with modest incomes primarily use their earnings to cover immediate expenses, middle-class individuals must also contend with liabilities such as mortgages, loans, and credit card debt. In contrast, Wealthy individuals leverage their assets to generate income, eliminating the need for a conventional salary. Their investments yield returns that not only sustain their lifestyle, but also provide surplus funds for further investment. This cycle perpetuates wealth accumulation, allowing the affluent to continually increase their net worth. In summary, the key to building wealth lies in minimizing liabilities and expenses while maximizing investments in assets. By adopting this strategy, individuals can empower their money to work for them, ultimately leading to financial prosperity. You might be inclined to raise objections at this point. Criticizing conventional, rat race jobs while advocating for asset acquisition may seem impractical. After all, how can one afford to invest in assets without a stable source of income? Is money supposed to magically appear out of thin air? Absolutely not. No one is suggesting that you abruptly resign from your current job, at least not yet. However, Robert Kiyosaki emphasizes the importance of minding your own business in his third lesson. In this context, minding your own business doesn't entail meddling in others' affairs. Instead, it involves taking charge of your financial well-being and generating income not just for your employer, but for yourself as well. Essentially, it means earning money through your portfolio of assets rather than solely relying on promotions, bonuses, or raises from your job. In the realm of personal finance, there exists a clear distinction between your profession and your business. Your profession encompasses the work you do to sustain yourself financially, typically denoted by a specific job title like restaurant owner or sales manager. On the other hand, your business comprises endeavors you invest time and resources in to cultivate your assets. Robert's journey toward financial success underscores the significance of this principle. While his poor dad advocated for securing a stable job, his rich dad encouraged him to start acquiring assets. Robert followed the latter's advice, initiating his entrepreneurial journey at the age of 9 by renting out comic books to neighborhood kids. Despite holding day jobs at corporations like Xerox and Standard Oil of California later in life, Robert remained focused on minimizing expenses, accumulating assets, and nurturing his portfolio. He learned to perceive his assets as his own team of employees, tirelessly working to generate income even in his absence. The crux of Kiyosaki's approach is evident. While employment may provide a steady income, true wealth stems from asset growth. Your salary alone, even with occasional raises or bonuses, is unlikely to propel you toward substantial wealth. Instead, it's the assets you acquire with your income that hold the potential to enrich you financially. In essence, the lesson is clear. Discern between your profession and your business, as only the latter has the capacity to lead you toward financial abundance. The choice is yours to make. During his school days, Robert found fascination in the legend of Robin Hood, who famously took from the rich to give to the poor. However, his rich dad viewed Robin Hood as a criminal rather than a hero. To him, the tale of Robin Hood indirectly influenced the tax system, which he disdained. Rich Dad believed that the tax system unfairly burdened the middle class rather than the wealthy, despite its intention to redistribute wealth. He argued that the rich, equipped with their intellect and resources, adeptly evaded taxes through intricate strategies. One such strategy employed by the wealthy is utilizing corporations to shield their assets from taxation. Unlike individuals who are taxed on their entire income before spending, corporations can allocate pre-tax funds for expenses, reducing taxable income substantially. This disparity in taxation highlights a crucial advantage for the rich. Imagine if individuals were only taxed on what they didn't spend from their salary. By leveraging corporations, the wealthy can minimize their tax obligations compared to the middle class and the poor. Moreover, corporations offer another layer of protection for the affluent. When an individual defaults on a loan, they risk losing personal assets and may face bankruptcy. However, if a corporation fails, the owners only forfeit their investment without personal repercussions. This shields their personal belongings and properties from being seized. In essence, the wealthy navigate the intricacies of the tax code and legal system to their advantage, staying ahead of measures intended to regulate their wealth. Robert Kiyosaki's upbringing offers a telling example. Under the mentorship of Rich Dad, Robert and his friend Mike gained invaluable exposure to real-world business operations. They observed meetings with professionals like bankers and lawyers, gaining insights into the intricacies of successful entrepreneurship. Despite their rapid learning curve, the boys encountered a dilemma. Their newfound understanding clashed with the traditional emphasis on academic achievement and hard work as the sole pathways to success. Financial literacy was conspicuously absent from mainstream education, a blind spot that Rich Dad illuminated. Critical financial concepts like saving, investing, and compound interest were conspicuously absent from the curriculum, leaving students ill-prepared to navigate the complexities of personal finance. Complexities of personal finance. Consequently, even adolescents today struggle with managing credit responsibly, often accumulating debt at a young age. The repercussions of this deficiency extend beyond youth into adulthood, where many well-educated individuals make imprudent financial decisions. A glaring example is the widespread lack of retirement planning, with a significant portion of the workforce lacking adequate pension arrangements. The systemic failure to prioritize financial education leaves individuals ill-equipped to manage their finances effectively. However, as Kiyosaki advocates, the remedy lies in taking proactive steps to educate oneself and develop a sound financial strategy. Embarking on the path to personal wealth is a journey that can commence at any stage of life, but initiating it sooner rather than later yields greater benefits. Initiating the journey at 20 presents more promising prospects for wealth accumulation compared to starting at 30. Regardless of age, the initial step involves assessing your financial standing candidly. Evaluate your current income, future earning potential, and sustainable expenses realistically. Resist the temptation to indulge in desires beyond your means and be scrupulously honest about your financial reality. Following this assessment, delineate realistic financial objectives. For instance, if owning a luxury car is a desire, set a feasible timeline, like acquiring it within 5 years. Take inspiration from anecdotes like Kiyosaki's wife, Kim, who achieved her goal of owning a Mercedes through strategic financial planning. Subsequently, embark on enhancing your financial acumen, an investment in your mental capital. Overcome personal fears and limitations by gaining practical experience, such as working in sales roles to hone negotiation skills and bolster self-confidence. Additionally, dedicate time to self-directed learning by enrolling in finance courses, attending seminars, and devouring literature on financial management. Establish connections with industry experts to glean insights and guidance in navigating the intricate terrain of personal finance. In summary, adopt a structured approach to fortify your financial knowledge and capabilities. By adhering to the 3-step process of assessing your financial status, setting achievable goals, and augmenting your financial intelligence, you pave the way for potential wealth accumulation. With diligent adherence to these principles, the prospect of attaining directed learning by enrolling in finance courses, attending seminars, and devouring literature on financial management. Establish connections with industry experts to glean insights and guidance in navigating the intricate terrain of personal finance. In summary, adopt a structured approach to fortify your financial knowledge and capabilities. By adhering to the 3-step process of assessing your financial status, setting achievable goals, and augmenting your financial intelligence, you pave the way for potential wealth accumulation. With diligent adherence to these principles, the prospect of attaining prosperity becomes increasingly tangible, perhaps even allowing you to park that coveted Mercedes in your garage one day. In this segment, we delve into your mindset regarding financial matters. If you aspire to alter your current financial standing, a fundamental shift in your approach to managing finances becomes imperative. The foremost transformation required is embracing risk-taking. In practical terms, success often favors the bold rather than the intellectually astute. Displaying audacity, courage, or what some may term as chutzpah, is a common trait among the affluent. Why is this attribute essential? Failure to overcome fear translates to missed opportunities in life. Many intellectually inclined individuals, despite their acumen, grapple with financial challenges due to their apprehension about societal judgment and aversion to investment risks. It's crucial to recognize that significant achievements necessitate boldness. Thus, financial acumen essentially boils down to two critical components. Knowledge, undoubtedly, but equally vital is courage. These twin attributes distinguish the affluent from the rest of society, constituting the essence of Lesson 5. Financially savvy individuals possess the ability to create wealth, irrespective of circumstances. They possess a discerning eye for spotting opportunities, the acumen to capitalize on them, and the fortitude to execute their plans. While their success may appear serendipitous from an outsider's perspective, it stems from their proactive creation of favorable outcomes. By immersing themselves in Rich Dad's business dealings, Robert and Mike imbibed a vital lesson unavailable within the confines of the ability to create wealth irrespective of circumstances. They possess a discerning eye for spotting opportunities, the acumen to capitalize on them, and the fortitude to execute their plans. While their success may appear serendipitous from an outsider's perspective, it stems from their proactive creation of favorable outcomes. By immersing themselves in Rich Dad's business dealings, Robert and Mike imbibed a vital lesson unavailable within the confines of traditional schooling. In the realm of practical experience, success hinges not solely on diligence, but also on audacity. Integrating courage with financial literacy enables individuals to swiftly identify opportunities and leverage them to their advantage, effectively inventing opportunities for wealth creation. Let's delve deeper into the concept of risk in this discussion. What does it truly entail? To start, taking risks involves deviating from the safe and conservative approach to managing your finances, which typically involves placing funds in standard checking and savings accounts at banks. Instead of opting for safety, consider investing your money in stocks or bonds. While these avenues are perceived as riskier compared to traditional bank accounts, they offer the potential for significantly higher returns. In certain instances, such as with stocks, substantial wealth accumulation can occur in relatively short periods. Alternatively, if you're hesitant about delving into the stock market, explore other investment options that can bolster your long-term wealth. Real estate or tax lien certificates are viable alternatives. Tax lien certificates, for instance, offer interest rates ranging from 8% to 30%, considerably higher than the paltry 0.21% average interest rate for savings accounts in America back in 2013. Naturally, higher potential returns are accompanied by escalated risks. For instance, investing in stocks carries the inherent risk of potentially losing your entire investment. However, refraining from undertaking such risks guarantees minimal returns. Understanding that embracing significant risks is essential for realizing substantial income growth is a cornerstone of wealth-building principles. This approach aligns with the teachings of Rich Dad, advocating for ventures that promise higher rewards despite the accompanying risks. In our journey thus far, we've grasped the importance of having your money work for you, understood the significance of financial acumen, and recognized the value of courage. However, there's one crucial lesson from Rich Dad that remains. Upon Robert's college graduation, he swiftly secured a stable, well-paying job, a scenario many would deem ideal, echoing the sentiments of his educated yet financially constrained father. For the conventional mindset, a secure career and unwavering dedication to work seemed the quintessential path to wealth accumulation. However, Rich Dad and Robert diverged from this conventional wisdom. Within 6 months, Robert resigned from his job to enlist in the Marine Corps, pursuing a career in aviation. While his poor dad found this decision perplexing, Rich Dad commended him. Why? Not for endorsing recklessness, but for discerning Robert's underlying motive. Robert wasn't solely focused on securing a steady income. He was driven by a quest for knowledge. he sought employment that offered valuable learning experiences. Rich Dad instilled in him the belief that possessing a breadth of knowledge across various domains was crucial for financial success. Hence, Robert prioritized working to learn, recognizing that his assets would eventually yield financial gains. This approach confounded Poor Dad, who held an academic pedigree and regarded specialization as the pathway to wealth. In academia, expertise is often cultivated through specialization, where individuals narrow their focus to a particular subject matter post-graduation. While specialization might suit some, it failed to benefit Poor Dad, whose extensive academic qualifications didn't significantly enhance his earnings. Conversely, Rich Dad, despite lacking formal education beyond 8th grade, possessed a diverse skill set. Rich Dad advocated for Robert and Mike to gain exposure to diverse departments within his business conglomerate. Their experiences ranged from restaurant management to construction, sales to marketing, accounting to reservations. The objective wasn't to identify a single career path, but to equip them with a versatile skill set essential for amassing wealth. Hence, the final lesson resonates. Don't merely labor for earnings, prioritize endeavors that foster continuous learning.